Hello. Good afternoon. I'm going to say good afternoon because it's afternoon now. So I say good afternoon. How are we doing? Are we well? Are we into halfway through April? Wow. Is it gone that quickly? But yes, it has gone that quickly. And people say it's like time goes pretty much the same time all the time. But anyway, I'm just rambling on as normal. How are we? Are we doing well? Are you okay? I'm thinking of you. I've just had a sense of achievement. I've just been doing some work in the shed. No, I had to fix some stuff, and I fixed it, and it seems to be fixed, which is a change. When I'm fixing stuff, it normally breaks about 10 minutes later. But it's all, yeah, hey, I've actually done something. So I've got my little sense of victory, sense of achievement. I've done something right, and I tidied up a little bit more in the shed. There's stuff that needs thrown out of there. Yeah, so that's what you can't see, but my t-shirt's a bit. You know when you put, I don't know why I should get rid of all my white t-shirts. Every time I put a white t-shirt on, literally within the first 10 minutes, I'll put a stain on it or get it dirty. It's normally tea, but I managed not to spill tea on it today. But it's just dirty now from the shed, from me messing about fixing. I was fixing stuff, Mr. DIY me. D in DIY stands for Dal. It yourself. Makes no sense. Just like me. That light, you know, not the light, it's the windows, the sun, because of the windows there. Does that really? Because it always, I mean, I've never. Does it affect? Does it make a difference? Or should I change my angles? You tell me. I don't mind it. It gives me kind of a different. Is it accentuating my features, my wrinkles? You can have a look. Actually, I haven't got bad skin. It's okay. I did shave yesterday. I've got a spot. Oh no! You need to get a face mask. I've used one once. It was alright. Maybe you have to use them more regularly to kind of feel the benefits of these things. I don't know. Anyway, I'm just bumbling on. What's been happening? I had some sad news this week. As many of you may or may not know, I used to be assistant coach at a football team for my son, for my eldest. 10 years we did that, and developed quite the relationship amongst the parents. We had a very good sort of bunch of real nice families, real nice people within those families. Kids were good as well, and the parents were excellent, and we were all very helpful. And Steve, who used to run the team, and his wife Karen, who used to run Steve. You won't mind me saying that. Karen's dad, Bazza, granddad Bazza, who was a mainstay in all. He was there all the matches, at home and away. He was pretty much. It was a very rare occasion when he wasn't there, but it was also a font of entertainment, and I always had a good laugh with Baz. And he suddenly passed away last Sunday, I think it was, and he will be sorely missed. It's hard to say without you having. If you've met him, you'd know. He was just he was a diamond. Let's say he was a diamond. He was one of those guys, man. And I always remember. There's many things I remember about him, but I always remember explaining what reverse cowgirl was to him. And some of the parents who were there will remember that. I had to explain that, and then I Google it on my phone to show him as well. In class, and he goes, "Oh, right, okay, I got you." He was always up for a laugh. That's the thing. And yeah, he was a lot younger than he wasn't a granddad in some of the stuff that we used to talk about. But yeah, R.I.P. Bazza. He will be missed, and he'll be entertaining whoever he meets going forward, up there somewhere, causing havoc. But yeah, and love to the family as well. Yes, that was a bit of sad news that I saw. Like, I was proper when I read it. I was like, it was Karen, his daughter, put it on Facebook, and I was like, what? Is that when somebody puts something like that? It's like, I'm sad too. And you can't have it in your head as well. It's like, oh no. And it's like, and it kind of did deflate me for a bit. And it was like, but then the one thing I've tried to do with anything like that now, as you know, we've had a lot of loss over the last, well, everybody's had a lot of the last 12 months, but just generally over the last few years, we've had a lot of loss in our family. So it's learning to remember the good stuff, the stuff that makes you smile. It doesn't, I mean, it's still obviously upsetting when you lose somebody, but it's the stuff that makes you smile, makes you remembering those funny good times. They kind of get you through, and then, you know, obviously you miss them, but you have those memories. As long as you create, that's why I always say, make those memories, man. Make those memories. You got to make those memories, because you know, you can regret it afterwards. Oh, I wish I'd have done that. I wish I'd have gone there. I wish I'd have, you know, stayed that out. You know, sometimes, yeah, staying out, guys, it's, believe me, it's worth the bollocking sometimes, because I've done it plenty of times. I'll be back in half an hour. 4 hours later, I'll turn up, maybe. Probably not in a sober state as well. But you know what? I don't regret it, because unless I had a shit time, then I do regret it. But if I've I would say 99.99% of the time I've had a good time. And if I've had a good time, then what's the regret? I've enjoyed myself. One life and all that business in it. I'd say, yeah. I say it to a lot of people, but so the thing is, you got to make, you don't want to be at the end of your life, whenever that is, because that could be at any time, going, I regret not doing these things, or I wish like they'd done that, or they'd done that. And looking at, when you start living, and I do it sometimes as well, when you're vicariously living other people's, like, you know, you see it on their Instagram, Facebook, whatever, Snapchat, you know, there's a million things now. And oh, look, they're doing that and they're doing that. I wish I could do that. I'm so jealous of them. And you know what? There was a period of my time, probably was, but nowadays I'm not, because I do my own shit, and I don't post it everywhere what I've done, but I know what I've done and the fun that I've had. And you know what? I don't regret it. I love it, and it makes you the person that you are. Unless you're doing something illegal, then yeah, I wouldn't do that. That's naughty. You shouldn't do that. Be good. But have a good time. Have some fun. Like I say, it's looking like that. I don't think there'll be sort of international travel this year in 2021. It doesn't look like it anyway, because even if the UK kind of are doing all right, a lot of other countries aren't. So it's going to be a lot of non-travel. So it's be sort of staying within the UK. So, but I'm hoping that just even if you're just European travel opening, because you know, I want to travel. I want to see more of Europe again, and some of the Europe that I've already seen, and I want Europe to be able to see me in the UK, and that'll be nice. And just, you know, having some, yeah, make some more memories, have some more experiences in it. Yeah, so that's just one of my thoughts as they come along. I mess around with that. So yeah, house-wise, it's with the planners, I think. Yes, it was. We got an email the other day saying that your application has been received by the planning committee and it's been given a reference number and all that business. So it's in them. Yeah, we'll find out next month, I think. I was looking at the previous planning permissions, and it was on there going, you know, you can see who's, you know, what people have applied for, or what even companies that are building around here, and whether it was refused or accepted. Pretty much nearly every single one has been accepted, bar one, which was, you can see why it wasn't. I think they wanted to build a balcony, probably overlooking somebody's property, and yeah. And so yeah, if somebody's objected to the basis that they can see into their garden or something like that, like blatantly, then you can understand that. But yeah, this I was thinking to myself, I bet your house will be the first one to get fucking refused, because that's what happens. That's always what happens. Everybody else would accept it. And like, one of my neighbours around the corner is having something done, and they're having a not very similar, but similar to what we're doing. what we want to do, or we're looking into anyway. Because it might be the fact that they give us permission to do the whole thing, and we might not do the whole thing. We might just do part of it, but we'll have the permission to be able to. But regardless of that, they've had it published past, and it's being constructed as we speak, not as we speak, because it's Sunday and they're not working today. But they'll probably start working tomorrow again. But yeah, I wouldn't put it past the universe to do that. But we'll see. Hopefully, fingers crossed and all that, it should pass, and then we'll see where we want to go from there. Because we were looking into it yesterday, just briefly. It was like, it ain't gonna be cheap. But we will see, as they say. Did I watch this? I watched Love and Monsters on Netflix yesterday. It's a film. It was quite quite fun. It was like, I suppose you could say it was partly a kids' film as well. There was no swearing in it or anything like that. It was like monsters in there, but it was a fun story. I enjoyed it. It was had some nice bits of humour in there, and it was I think the story it was in the trailer. What it says is that I think something was attacking Earth, and they fired rockets, and then the fallout from the rockets kind of infected the Earth, and the humans that survived only like barely, very minimal, like 90, killed out like 90+% of the humans, and the ones that survived. But then, no, that didn't kill them. It was the mutations of the insects and stuff. So they all became monsters, basically insects, and it was mostly insects. They all became like ants, became giant and killing humans and frogs and all that business like that, reptiles and stuff like that. It was the little boy. I just said hello, Sonny Jim. Anyway, what? Okay, you didn't get that reference, but yeah. So they infected, and then it's like they survived. It's how they survived, and then it's a story around one person, but it's fun. It's a fun film. It's a fun family. I reckon it's a family film that you can watch. It's got like the monster thing isn't that sort of super scary. Michael Rooker's in it, who you won't know. You'll know him from he was what's his name in the blue guy, Wandu. I forget his name. Wandu in Guardians of the Galaxy, if you've watched that. But he's been in loads of them. But yeah, he's got a little role in it, which was quite fun. But yeah, that's a recommendation. Love and Monsters. I haven't really been watching anything. I have probably been on MasterChef and stuff like that. This is a Belgian IPA. 5%, but it's a 330ml, so it's alright. That's my reward for fixing things. That's what that I'm having a beer to reward myself. Yeah, TV wise, I'm looking for a new series. I've been watching It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, which is actually quite fun. My boy, my busy mate, he recommended it to me. He said, watch it, you'll like it because it's stupid like us, which is a fair way of getting me to watch something. And it's so silly, but I like it. And there's like 14 series of it, so I've got plenty of stuff to catch on that one. Just give it one episode. You don't really have to go with continuity on that, but you can watch the first one and you can see how silly it is. And I'll watch the first couple because the first one's always the pilot, isn't it? Yeah, so that's been my kind of one. I can just I feel like watching something light-hearted and silly, so that I'll watch that. You need something light-hearted and silly. It's like when you watch Friends and stuff like that. And the lockdown restrictions have been lifted this week, or lifted a little bit more this week. So we've been able to see. I've seen like different people this week. It's amazing. Yeah, like different humans. I've been out to pub and had a drink, which was nice. With a couple of different people, which was excellent. And yeah, it's been nice to see other humans and just having a chat and bullshitting about this and that, and yeah, which was yeah, it's underrated, that social interaction. I think some people might have got used to it, but not me. I'm all about the people. Let's safely socialise. Yeah, but that has been nice. I saw some family yesterday, sat in the garden with them and just chilled and chatted, and played darts in the garden, which was fun. Yeah, it's nice. And then I think here it's in the middle of May. They're going to do it again, like a bit more restrictions. I think it's because at the moment it's like for pubs, it's like outdoor dining and outdoor drinking. So it's like outdoor you can, but indoor there's nothing. But going to the loo or something. Whereas I think from the middle of May, so what's the date today? It's the 18th today. So in about a month or so, they'll allow indoor dining as well. So obviously it would probably be limited with numbers and stuff like that, but that's a positive step forward. Then in June, as long as they said everything's okay, that most of the restrictions will be lifted and we could kind of have some kind of normal way of living. Probably masks and stuff will still be mandatory and stuff like that, but most of the other stuff, like getting out and about and doing stuff and seeing stuff and seeing people, which will be less restrictive, which will be nice as well. As long as it's that whole thing, as long as people don't get stupid with it, it's fine. It's all good. And then you can kind of slowly, then it'll build. I haven't had a vaccination yet, if anybody cared. I haven't been offered it. I think I fall just below. I think they've just started it to 45s and over, because I know a couple of people that have had it now. And I just fall below that, so I don't fall into that. So by the time they introduce the over 40s, then, which will probably be in the next few weeks, looking at the level of vaccination that they're doing, then yeah, so I'll take it when it comes, I suppose. What's the worst that can happen? No, I know too many. I know so many people that have had it, and everybody seems to be fine. I've stopped taking my medical advice from people from Facebook, and just keep with the doctors and scientists and stuff. People on Twitter. Don't do that. You'll die if you breathe. Yeah. One thing I did notice, I was in Asda today, and I think with the heat, I think the heat will make it, not in a bad way, but it's just that I noticed it slightly. I got into Asda early. I forgot that they open at 10, but they don't start serving till 11. So I got in there just after 10:30, and I had to get like 2 things. Well, actually, I had to get 1 thing. They ended up getting like 7 things. But then when I got, all the tills were closed, and I thought, oh, what's going on? And I was talking to this lady, and she was like, it's 11 o'clock. So no, it's not serving till 11 o'clock, so you can shop, and then you don't go through the tills till after 11 o'clock. And I thought, oh, sake. So I'll have a walk around, and then ended up picking up this and picking up that, and stuff, if generally stuff, as you do, don't need. So, but okay, I got that. Okay, fair enough. And then I'm standing in the queue. It's like 15 minutes, still 15 minutes left, or 10 minutes left. So I'm standing in the queue for the tills, and like, okay, I'm waiting. And it was quite warm. And I did notice my max just steaming. Maybe it's just a mask. Maybe I just need a different type of mask. Not steaming up, but you can just feel the heat building up a little bit. So I just let it go. I just let it out a bit, and then let some air in and put it back. It was just that. So I'm guessing, but I'm thinking if it gets hotter and you wear a mask, but I mean, I'm playing devil's advocate for myself. It's like, but generally you're in the shops for like 15, 20. That was an anomaly because I was waiting. Because normally I would have been in and out there in 10 minutes, but I had to wait there and stand there and not do anything because I had to. Otherwise I'd just leave the stuff and go and come back later on. But generally, yeah. So it's not a big deal. But it's like wearing a mask for a long time, and I feel sorry for the medical workers that have to do it for a long period of time. You can see why they get the marks around their face and their nose, and because you're wearing that for so long, restrictive and pressing against their face, and it's like, oh, I don't envy them on that. I don't envy them on a lot of things. They should forget going to medical school and just take their advice from people from Facebook, because clearly they know. People that do that know how to Google stuff, and they can perform operations just on the basis of that. So I don't know why they waste 7 years going to medical school when you can just go 5 minutes Googling. Yeah. But yes, what else has been going on? Nothing else has been going on. It was quite funny yesterday. Was my mum was at my niece saying, you should get married now. She's 20. She just turned 24. It's like, you're about the right age. About the right age. There's an age. There isn't an age. there used to be an age, but that's like old-fashioned views, isn't it? By the time you're 23, that's it. 24, you're getting out of date. You want to get back. And she was looking at me, he's like, don't worry about it. Take your time. Because it was said to me, so you've got to find a nice boy for her. And I was like, and I looked at her and I said, you know how much effort that is? Just doing that for somebody else. Do it yourself. And but she was the same as me. She agreed with me, saying, "I know it's so much effort. You have to do this and that." I don't envy you on that, but I mean, a lot of people ask me. They're not like they used to be. Arranged marriage is very different to. Well, they call them arranged marriages now, but they're not really. They're more introduced marriages. So what would happen is that somebody would mention to somebody else. Normally, the old Asian ladies, old Indian ladies, the aunties one would mention, "Oh, so and so is looking for a girl for their boy or boy for their girl," and it's like, "Oh right, yeah." And then the other auntie would go, because there's an auntie network. As if you watch Goldberg's, it's pretty much similar to that. And they'll go, "Oh, well, so and so was looking for a boy for theirs or girl for theirs," and then they'll kind of, "Well, I'll tell them," and I'll tell them, and then eventually somebody will get a phone number and say, "Well, here's a phone number, contact them, message them, or do," and then that's the introduction. And then if they want to, they might message back and forth, they might have a phone call, and then if they want to then take that further, that's up to them to take it further. But it's all the only thing is, it's within the family's knowledge. That's all. That those two, she's speaking to a boy, or that boy speaking to a girl. That's pretty much all it is. A lot of the time now, I mean, a lot of the kids have I say kids. Oh, it makes me feel old when I say kids, but they are all kids. They find themselves a boyfriend or a girlfriend. It is what it is. But I mean, if they don't, then what they do is that. If they don't have like a boyfriend or girlfriend, then that old introduction thing comes in. The old arranged marriages were very different. The old arranged marriages were like, literally, they wouldn't see, there's people that wouldn't see. The first time you would see your potential spouse was on your wedding night. Check that. Stick that in your pipe and smoke it. Imagine that. Imagine getting married to somebody, and then, I mean, it's famous if you watch some old Indian films, Bollywood films, and they'll do that scene of the where the guy is lifting up, when they have their sort of scarf, as you would call it, that embroidered scarf over their face, so you can't see the lady's face, and then the man picks it up on the wedding night, so it's just them two in their own room, and on the wedding night they'll pick it up, and then that is literally, a lot of the times, a lot of people's experiences the first time they saw their spouse was when they so you're married, everybody's gone home, everybody's gone to their rooms or whatever, and you two pretty much strangers are in your bedroom, and the first time that you would see. And generally, the girl wouldn't, the lady, whatever, wouldn't, I'm assuming a gender, wouldn't see, because there was a whole shyness thing, isn't it? So she would always be looking down. So it's like, so the guy would lift, and she'd be lifted up, and she'd be looking down. So she might not even look at him until later on. So, but the guy would look at her and see her for the first time. So imagine. So there's many scenarios that come up through your head. Like, if you didn't like her, just straight away on looks. I mean, because you've never spoken to her either. This is like back old school. I mean, I don't. As far as I'm aware, that never happens anymore. Or if it happens, it's really, really, really rare. And I can't see it happening in this country. I can see it happening in some other countries, but like I say, even in other countries, it's really rare. But back in the day, that's how it was. It's the first time, and like, story. There's loads of stories. The one I know was that the family had taken the the older daughter. They wanted to go and fix up. They'd already kind of discussed it, and they took the daughter with them. Like, basically, all the family went, and so they had the discussion, saying yes. So that a daughter is going to marry your son. That's cool. Everybody's cool. Yeah, it's fine. And then the guy's side said, "Well, your younger daughter's here as well. Our younger son needs marrying. We're going to look for a girl for him as well. He can get married to your younger daughter." And they went, "That's fine." So both daughters are getting married to both sons, and that's it. So that's literally, and that was it. And they got married, and they're still married now, and they've got kids and stuff. But it's like, that's mental. When I was told that's what happened with theirs, it's like, it was literally, she'd just gone with them, and she ended up like being engaged by the time she left, and then she was married a few weeks later, I think it was. And that's crazy. It's crazy shit. But yeah, that's an arranged marriage. That's an old school arranged marriage, that is. And like I say, it's very rare that sort of stuff happens in this day and age. It's more, especially within, I'm not 100% how it is in India, but in the UK, I can base it on the UK experience. It's like a lot of introduction. There's introduction. I mean, because my cousin, loads of, actually, not just my cousins, I've known friends as well, where they've introduced, like with my best mates, they all got married to their girlfriends, or except one who's not married. But yeah, all of them. He's not my best mate. Yeah, he's. But they all got married to their girlfriends. So that was their thing, and that was when we were in our 20s then, all of us. So that was 20 odd years ago. So that was quite a long time ago. But yeah, it's rare that the other way happened. I don't know of anybody that's it's happened to. It's happened to in that way. In the last, actually, I don't know anybody who hasn't met the person beforehand. Because even then, it was like they meet, even going back 20 years, they would meet the person face to face, rather than it'd be like, first it'd be like a photo. They would give a photo of the guy to the girl's side, and the girl's side would give a photo to the boy's side of the girl, and then they would base it on the photo. So they would have a look at the photo and say, "Oh, yeah." And then if okay, she looks alright, or he looks alright, and then they would arrange then it was normally to the person who's fixing them up, because it'd be always an intermediary called the bacholla. They would arrange to meet. Both sides of the family would then, and the boy and the girl, would come to the house. So come to that person's house, and then they would meet each other there. And then they would ask the prospective couple to, you can go into like the other room over there, and talk, have a little chat, and see how you feel, and go and talk to each other about what everyone talked about. And then even then, I mean, certain times they would, like, it was literally, you had to then make a decision, not make a decision straight away, but go away, think about it, and then come back to us what you think. If it was a case that I want to see them again, sometimes people would say, I want to meet them without all the family there, so meet for a coffee or something like that. Became more common later on, and then the whole introduction thing started, and then it was like they would you arrange it yourself. But yeah, it's crazy times. I've told people about my ones, and there was a. It's crazy when you think. I think about it now and think, well, it's crazy. It's crazy. It's like, and both my sisters were arranged marriages as well. And that was like family, friends, family or family friends who arranged those as well. But yeah, you got for my personal ones, stories, you have to individually hit me up, and I will. I've told loads of people now anyway, so. But we could do it on a social setting when I'm having a few Belgian IPAs, and I can tell you a few stories. But yeah, it's yeah, because loads of people always ask me, because I do explain that, and that's how I explain it to people. And that's how you learn, didn't you? You learn by asking. You learn by what's that? I don't know what that was. But yeah, and it's an interesting subject actually. It's cultural as well, because it's like, I mean, this is just, I'm just talking about it like on the basis of, you would say, Punjabi culture, and but then in other cultures it might be very different, might be exactly the same, might be very different. But in terms of age, it used to be an age thing. They used to have the younger the better. I mean, I was 22, and I think my sisters were around the same age as well. They finished their degrees and stuff, and they were in and around the same age. Now it's like you can go anywhere. I know 30, just over 30, but you know, those people are happily married, and I think they're more mature. And they say that the brain isn't fully developed till you're about 27, 28 anyway. So wouldn't you rather be married to a fully developed brain rather than just a brain damaged simpleton like me? And I was probably brain damaged. And I always talk about my head traumas, that I constantly bang my head in stuff, and this has gone on from a young age as well. So I probably have got some injuries in me, on me, around me, everywhere. Talking of injuries, when I was talking about my potential hernia, we're getting a pain, so you got to go 2 inches below your belly button, about roughly 2 inches, and just getting a pain across, like an ache. So when I sneezed, it ached, and I wake up in the morning, when you get up and wake up in the morning, you just feel it there. Oh, this isn't right. And then I'd spoken to the doctor a few weeks ago, and the doctor had said it might be more likely a strain, but it was diagnosed over the phone because there was COVID restrictions going in. And then I spoke to the doctor, got an appointment with the doctor on Friday, looked into it again, and it doesn't seem as it's a like a hernia kind of thing. It's more because there's no swellings, there's no protrusions, there's nothing, no bruising, and there's nothing there to say. There's nothing to say I've damaged it in terms of bruising or anything like that, and nothing from the inside coming out. That's the hernia thing, isn't it? But I think, what I narrowed it down to, which I was speaking to the doctor, and he said that is quite a likely cause, is that I was working a lot more prior to it started really kicking in on my hip flexors. So they're your muscles that you lift your legs and stuff like that. I was working a lot more on my hip flexors, and like loading them up. So I was using weights to like lift up. So so if you imagine standing up straight, and then you're putting a weight on your foot, and then you're lifting it up. So you're lifting your knee up to 90 degrees, and it really does work the hip flexor. But I probably overloaded it. Those know me trained. I don't start with the old. Let's just start easy. No, I'll start with, this seems heavy enough, and I'll just done it, and it hurt. Like I could feel it when I was doing it, but it's more likely that I've just strained my sort of hip flexors and all attachments to it as well around the front. And so since I've eased off all the weight work and working off my flexors and trying not to do too much that's going to impact it, I can feel a difference in terms of there's less pain. So I think it's just an overload. I've overloaded myself, and that's what's happened basically. So fingers crossed I can get back to my shenanigans in training, and without killing myself and injuring myself and breaking myself. I'm constantly breaking myself. Knees are getting better. I'm still trying to do an ehab, and the one knee feels fantastic, and then the other knee. You know what? I figured, because my legs are so lean now. I think I've got 80 kilo legs and 100+ kilo body. That's my problem. So yeah, my legs are really, they feel really lean, and they look really lean as well. Fucking hell. So I need to get the rest of the body in line with my legs now, because my legs are going to start looking out of proportion. But yeah, what are you going to do? First world problems, isn't it? My failing body. I always put that in the description. My failing body. I'll keep on running it until it conks out. Like, so I was listening to something the other day, and he was saying that It's amazing. If we get a new car, how much we look after it, and we get it serviced and we look after it. It's like, you've had this body all your life and you only get one of them, and it's like but a lot of people barely look after it, barely put any effort into looking after your body and what you're consuming, like sort of mentally and physically, and what you know, looking after your brain, looking after your body, your physical health, your mental health. Is like, yeah, it's all right, but my car needs cleaning, my car needs servicing. It's like, you need to service yourself a few times as well. So that's not a sexual metaphor, but it could be, because you have to do it as well. But yes, right. I've just noticed that 35 minutes. I didn't even realise I've talked that long. I thought it was only like just under 20. I have no sense of time, and you know me. I can talk fucking all day. But yes, it's been wonderful talking to you. I hope you're having a nice week. I hope to see you soon, very soon, especially you. And something profound was going to come into my head then. I was hoping the universe would give me something, but they didn't. But okay, so I will see you soon, hopefully. And I bid you adieu. See you later.